Rwanda is now just days away from the moment of mourning for the hundreds of thousands murdered in its genocide. Workers are putting the finishing touches at the memorial centre in Kigali. On Monday, President Paul Kagame will lay a wreath here, 20 years to the day the killings began. Kwibuka 20 means remember. And the Rwandans have organised international conferences, ceremonies and online message boards, trying to ensure that the world doesn't forget.
We started A Million Voices, which is an online and physical campaign for giving a message to the Rwandans. As we remember, more than 1 million people who died. That's why the campaign is called A Million Voices, where you can do it online or you can do it physically, being in Rwanda or abroad.
Domestically, the government has organised well-run events where a flame of remembrance is lit in each of 30 districts. Rwanda's flame of remembrance has now been carried through almost the entire country. It's an impressive government campaign to ensure that while Rwandans reflect on the terrible events of 20 years ago, the unity of the country going forward is not forgotten. Forgiving must be terribly hard. Here, the flame is carried through the village of Ndera. In the background is a church where 1,000 Tutsis were murdered. A few hundred meters away, 20,000 people were slaughtered. At Ndera's Flame of Remembrance ceremony, Josephine Muburiera recounts how she hid in a toilet for 3 weeks without food or water, while Hutu killers stalked through the village. Josephine lost her husband and 6 children. Organisers told us that out of 20,000 Tutsis living here, she was the sole survivor. Yet, Kwibuka 20 organisers insist that Rwandans are united and ready to move on. Across the country, survivors have been brought face to face with those who helped them.
It was so emotional that these women ended up crying, hugging this person who rescued them during the genocide, and they didn't know that the person will be there at the exact event. That was so touching to me.
The government discourages Rwandans from talking of bitterness. So, Jacques Kalisa, a local teacher who lost both his parents, tells us he has forgiven, rebuilt his life, and looks forward to a bright future. Kalisa lives under a Tutsi-led government, the victors of the vicious conflict with Hutus, even though 85% of Rwandans are Hutu. They are represented in government, but real power, politically and economically, lies in Tutsi hands, and dissent is rare. Just how the government deals with that will determine Rwanda's future, and some worry that more killings cannot be ruled out.
Yeah, I think that all the factors are still there. You're suppressing a majority voice. You're tightly controlling everything. You're not allowing an outlet for different opinions. And I wonder to what extent the Hutu majority feels it has a future as a voice in that country.
It's a difficult balancing act for the Kagame government, which must allow people to grieve, but also put a lid on the anger which must still lie in the hearts of many. Ben said, Kigali, Rwanda.
Know more about your world. eNCA.com